Today, right now, you have more power at your fingertips than entire generations that came before you. Think about that. That's what technology really is. It's possibility, it's adaptability, it's capability. But in the end, it's only a tool. What's a hammer without a person who swings it? It's not about what technology can do, it's about what you can do with it. You're the voice, and it's the microphone. When you're the artist, it's the paintbrush. We are living in the future we always dreamed of. We have mixed reality that changes how we see the world, and AI empowering us to change the world we see. You have more power at your fingertips than entire generations that came before you. So here's the question: what will you do with it?
Let us give an inviting round of applause and welcome to the 2016 Technology Industry of the Year Award recipient, Mr. Kelton Alexander of Gazelle Boss I Quit. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Mr. Kelton Alexander.
Video conferencing alone by itself did $47 billion in revenue by a company called Cisco, okay? And internet marketing, companies like Constant Contact.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, no matter where you may be in the world. This is Kelton Alexander, and I'm in Southern California, United States, and I'd like to thank you for giving us the opportunity to change your life. And what I mean by us, this is my friend Bob. He's the founder and CEO of the next billion-dollar brand. Now, I've been using the product of his business with success, and now I'm building a business out of his product by a system he's created that's made 31 millionaires by way of 143 countries. So I invite you to take a look at the recent briefing that I recorded about this situation. And once you watch it, let's talk about making money by a way that is no risk and all reward. So let's get started. I started out by using these products because I needed to stand out from the rest with a wow factor that would win me more business and win me more attention and outshine the noise on all social media sites, smartphone, texts, and emails. Right about that time, a paid motivational speaker, an author of 25 books, and a publisher of 6 said, "I got my life back." I was definitely intrigued by that. She said, "You need to take a look at these online video collaboration, communication, and distribution tools." So I did. I fell in love with what I saw. Within 3 months on Facebook, my friend requests, shares, comments, likes all went up. On Twitter, my followers started increasing and they started buying the business of my product. When they started doing that, I knew I was on to something because they were already buying the product of my business. But when the vice president of LinkedIn sent me an email telling me my LinkedIn profile was in the top 10% of all LinkedIn profiles viewed out of 200 million profiles, I knew I was on to something. But the problem I had was that if I wasn't being a keynote speaker as a result of the product, if I wasn't winning Business Marketing Technology CEO of the Year awards and Video Producer of the Year awards because of this product, if I wasn't getting congressional awards, 10 in fact, for helping ministries and nonprofits because of these products. If I wasn't doing those things, guess what? I wasn't making money, but I wanted to make more money and have more time for myself. And so, speaking of timing, you know how they say about opportunity is all about being in the right place at the right time. Well, let's take a look at some precedents from just the last 2 decades alone. Windows, what did Bill Gates do? It came along at a time where personal computers were being made available to the masses. And so Bill Gates created Windows operating systems. Steve Jobs, what did he do? He made a more user-friendly interface as personal computers were gaining popularity, and he was even responsible for putting the mouse into the computer, and he created a device called the iPod that revolutionized the recording industry and put some record labels out of business. Mark Zuckerberg, what did he do? He developed Facebook at a time when millions of internet users were hungry for social media opportunities. He invited 5 people to his dorm room. Only 2 people showed up, and those 2 people, Dustin Moskovitz and Eduardo Saverin, are worth $6.5 and $3.4 billion. So what does this mean? It means that people who achieve this level of wealth recognize the opportunity and turn the idea into reality. And that's exactly what my friend Bob Rayner is doing, turning opportunities into reality. So he shared a story with me about the timing of the company, and I'm here to brief you on why Talk Fusion is such a perfect timing company. So let's just go back 20 years ago, where 2 college students started working on a small research project. It was called Project Backrub, and it had just one purpose, which was to build a better way to search the web. Well, this project would soon evolve into the most powerful business of all time. Within the past 20 years, $535 billion tech giant Google. Aren't you happy that we don't have to say Project Backrub me? Now, Google forever changed how people across the world access information by removing boundaries and making it simple. Now, everything you need to know is available at the touch of a button. But the problem is, most people don't know what buttons to push on their mobile devices, their tablets, their computers, their laptops, their desktops that help them stand out from the rest with that wow factor that they need so that they can outshine and outperform expectations, and especially how they can get paid instantly in 3 minutes with immediate access to the money by the currency of over 143 countries connected to the internet by our servers. Now, the people who truly saw an opportunity for life-changing profits and got in on the ground floor, like Dustin Moskovitz and Eduardo Saverin, look like geniuses today because they made an absolute killing. So right now, we're seeing yet another groundbreaking technology emerge that will change the way you and I communicate forever. So this is a rare case of history repeating itself, like Halley's Comet. It's a phenomenon, a once-in-a-lifetime situation. So it's also known as a perfect storm because we live at a time where most people are on the wrong side of the digital divide. So with the perfect timing of these things that I'm sharing with you, it has created a perfect storm. Now, you may have missed out on Google, but you now have a second chance at perfect timing for a perfect storm. So because of the timing of our business, because of the product of our business, because of the pinnacle leadership leading our business, because of the support of our business, you won't see anything bigger, not even close, because we have all these circumstances working together for us at the same time. So major problems that have major solutions make major money. And these days, if you want to connect online for either business or personal, it can be one big headache and hassle, right? Download, install, username, passcode, PIN numbers, updating settings in software that you don't even know anything about, and it takes a bachelor degree to try to figure them out, and you spend hours and hours and hours wasting valuable time. Then you have to make sure the other person did the exact same thing. No wonder people aren't making money on social media networks. Now, the setup process takes longer than the actual conversation in that case. You shouldn't have to be a software expert. It should just work. So just like Google removed barriers and made it simple to access information, TalkFusion is doing the exact same thing in the communications industry. So imagine a world where you can make a one-click video call without having to install anything, no matter what device you were using. You could hold large-scale business meetings without having to worry if your participants have downloaded the same program or not. So what is it that sets us apart as better and gives us competitive advantages that makes our business so much more valuable and so much more attractive than any other business opportunity out there? Well, it's that the world is disconnected from a video communication standpoint as it pertains to the devices that they use. Not only do they fail to connect as frequently, persistently, and consistently as they should, but they also fail at how they should connect. So at TalkFusion, we've made history as the first and only company of our type to connect any device to every device, especially Apple to Android, which means our products are device independent. So, but our greatest advantage is that TalkFusion just so happens to pay instantly in 3 minutes with immediate access to the money every time people decide to use it. More on that in a moment. All you need to remember is that TalkFusion is a better, faster way, more convenient, and more profitable way to communicate. And it's like comparing a fishing net to a fishing pole in a world where there are two types of earners: those that make money on the internet, by the internet, and from the internet, and those who do not. Now, you've heard of enriched foods, right? For example, you know how some products are made better and more valuable because they're enriched with others? For example, the most common enriched foods are cereals, milk, tea, and juice. You ever heard of vitamin water, Gatorade, orange juice with vitamin D, milk with calcium, or even Wonder Bread? I mean, let's talk about vitamin water for a minute, okay? What did we call vitamin water before we added vitamins? When I was a kid, we called it Kool-Aid. And what happens when you add vitamins to Kool-Aid? It becomes a billion-dollar industry. How many people do you think feel that enriched products sell pretty well? Well, so do we. The question is, what do we enrich ours with that make them so much better? Well, we're changing the way the world communicates, and we have enriched our already world-class products with a powerful online video technology that we've enriched emails, social media posts, face-to-face conferencing, video chats, and now smartphone text with our new video texting feature that we have. And it's taken the world by storm. So the advantage that TalkFusion gives over other technology companies is that we included, not excluded, to the wealth of the next technology boom. In other words, the innovations of technologies are no longer restricted to bosses in boardrooms of Apple, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Skype, Twitter, or YouTube. They've been extended to us so we can live our dreams by the power of the technology boom. So we pretty much missed out on Apple, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Skype, and Twitter, and YouTube, didn't we? Look at the value of these brands right now, especially when you consider what these companies are doing in business. Video conferencing, like I'm doing right now, alone by itself as a product, did $47 billion in revenue by a company called Cisco. And internet marketing companies, email marketing companies like Constant Contact, MailChimp, and the list goes on, did over $400 million in business. Now, technically speaking, the way this works is called peer-to-peer communications by video, meaning directly through the most widely used web browsers in the world, which are Chrome and Firefox, and bypassing the hangups and expenses of third-party servers, third-party software, third-party downloads, or third-party applications you are going to be communicating first class and at high speed. So think of how your cell phone works for a moment. When was the last time that you had to go through third-party servers, software, downloads, and applications other than a 10-digit number to talk to somebody? That means that your phone bill would be pretty high, right? So these circumstances all add up to mean that Talk Fusion is a potent disruptive technology, all from one login. The way that other video communications and marketing companies work on the internet can't compete with it by the most popular and frequently used communication methods, by the most cost-effective way, hands down. More importantly, through less barriers and with more productivity, all the while being more attractive and more efficient. And that's what people want, right? So this is all possible and more thanks to a brand new groundbreaking technology, WebRTC. It stands for Web Real-Time Communications, and it stands to change the way we communicate entirely. So just like the smartphone, the internet, and Google search, this technology is going to spread like wildfire. We'll soon look back at all the hoops we once had to jump through to do a simple call or business meeting, and we'll laugh, just like we laugh at dial-up internet, just like we would laugh if somebody handed us a cassette tape, a 8-track tape, a CD, a DVD, even an iPod right now. Remember Blockbuster Video? Better yet, remember what Netflix and Redbox did to Blockbuster Video? Obsolete. No longer out of here, like a rotary phone and a pay phone. That's just how people are communicating right now on technology that's over 20 years old, and they're still making billions of dollars. Now, spending in this field of web real-time communications will hit approximately $42 billion by 2025, which is a staggering growth rate of almost 40% per year. Think about any increase of 40% per year. Would you be more successful? What if your income increased by 40% per year, especially at a time where wages have only gone up $200 in the past 20 years and the average person has less than $400 in their bank account? Now, what I'm sharing with you is already verified. Forbes, Entrepreneur Magazine, USA Today newspaper, PC World, New York Times, TechCrunch, Business Insider, Tech Radar are all calling it the next major breakthrough. Do you need a breakthrough in your life? Are you fed up with being stuck in average? Are you tired of being overworked and overlooked and underpaid and underappreciated and caught up in medical debt, student loan debt, consumer debt? Well, right now, you're standing in the same shoes as someone who first heard of Google 20 years ago. Think about how you're receiving this information. That's called a clue. So this is your chance to get involved before the masses do, because through word of mouth, which is the best form of advertising, you don't want to be the one to be asked, have you heard of Talk Fusion? Now, we're just getting started. More WebRTC world's firsts are on the way. Talk Fusion is aggressively developing a series of integrated, cutting-edge products and is racing to send this innovation mainstream. So what does that mean? That means the world will know Talk Fusion as the big WebRTC powerhouse. So you definitely want to get on board. Now, Talk Fusion's technology and products are so hot that the company has been contacted by over 25 top venture capital firms specializing in growth stage software. These firms have invested in global powerhouses such as Facebook, Twitter, Wix, Tumblr, Salesforce, and one firm which has invested over $15 billion in over 300 companies in over 65 countries on 6 continents said, out of the thousands of companies we have visited, Talk Fusion is in the all-time top 4. This is Dr. Jonathan Chin. He is the man responsible for putting this technology in place. But I tell you one other thing. Once I got introduced to him at one of Bob's events, I was hooked. He is the industry's #1 compensation plan expert, recognized as a leading programmer with PhDs in applied mathematics. So he knows how to make software work, and he's the mastermind behind instant pay in 3 minutes. So he's good with numbers, especially cha-ching numbers. He's responsible for putting video into email with one touch, one-click video recording, hosting live instant conferences and video chats, all from the convenience of one login. Think about that for a moment. So I'd like to introduce you to what he created, and everybody's looking for what we got. It's our award-winning video suite. We are the first company to put this dynamic technology into the world's most popular personal and business communications. Watch this next video.